Wednesday, my dudes. We are back. It's on the perf time. Here with your buddies, Amax and Riser. Riser, how we doing?
We're doing good. We had a rather interesting day yesterday, which we'll talk about in a minute. But
were you teaching some Gen Pop folks?
No, we're not there yet. That's a different one.
In the law enforcement training industry, Gen Pop refers to the not gun people in the agency, for those keeping score at home. But as always, we are brought to you by Atlas Gunworks. And before we kicked off the pod here, I went and had a look at the pistol tracker. And my Artemis currently is at step number 5, sanding and polishing.
Ooh. Yeah, and you already have an Artemis, right?
Yes, so I have...
So what is plural? Is it Artemi?
Artemi? Is the plural of moose, meese? I don't know.
I think we decided that the plural of Erebus was Arabi. You want to hear some messed up shit? So my wife's Canadian, as everybody knows. Guess what the Canadian for beers, or like if you have more than one beer, what would you say you have? Like you have 6 of them.
Ooh. I guess I would say beers, but that can't be it.
It can't be it. It's 6 beer. You add numbers and you don't change the word. I'm like,
dear.
We have had and that's her argument. It's like, you don't say deers, you say deer, so you say beer. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't, because they're not the same thing. So
when you're right, you're right, Dave. I don't know what to...
These are the arguments that my wife and I have. This is where our relationship is at. We now argue over the plural of beer.
You don't have issues.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
But yeah. So I do really think we talked about it, I think last time or a couple episodes ago. I do think the tracker is pretty neat. It gives you just a little bit, because a lot of times, man, you just kind of order these things and they go off into the ether, and then you just kind of wonder, like, is it coming soon? So like, it's not quite as in depth as like Jason Burton's process. I think he for $20,000, you're basically getting the experience more than the gun. That's a whole other thing. But at least like you kind of have proof of life. Like, oh yeah, it's moving through the system. Oh, okay. Oh, they're doing stuff to it, without calling them and bugging them. Because a lot of reasons that a lot of the OG gunsmiths from back in the day never got anything done is because they spent all their time on the phone. So if they talk to you for an hour, they're not building guns. So It lets you see where your gun's at in the world, and you let the people do the thing so they can keep building your gun. And also, one of our teammates has hooked me up with a red dot 40 gun. So I also have...
What?
I also have
nice.
a TDY Artemis in 40 cal, and so I think the plan with that is to try shoot Lim 10 at Race Gun Nats. That's the initial plan. We'll see how that goes.
I shot some 40 for the first time in probably like 8 years on Saturday after our local match, because I had our local boy here, Josh, who does everybody's slide cuts. My 2 old Glocks, my old 34 and my 23, both got defenders put on them. The 34 so I could hand it off to people in classes and demo with it and stuff like that. And the 23 because despite being a 40 cal subcompact Glock, which is just about the least fun thing to shoot on earth, it happens to be my suppressor host, because my suppressor is a 40 cal, and 40 actually makes a good suppressor round because they're big bullets moving slow.
Yes.
But took it to the range and zeroed it after the match, and remembered how terrible it is to shoot a subcompact Glock with 40 major. It is not very much fun. It is all of the snappy.
Factory 40 sucks.
Dude, this sucks so
40
bad.
in pretty much any not match gun sucks.
Yeah.
Hand-loaded 40, like tailored to like what we're doing in the action shooting sports. Though I actually do like. It's kind of like having a pet or a child or something like that. Like I don't care about yours, but I like mine. You know, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's like I like my 40, and I'm actually kind of stoked on it. Barry's Bullets came out with a 220 grain 10 mil bullet.
Ooh, nice.
And so I smashed a cert on one of those. I got like a flat of 220 grainers at home for a little winter project action. Kind of excited to try those out.
Heck yeah.
So that'd be good. And also, we are also brought to you by Briley Manufacturing, and as most folks could probably guess, we're going to talk about some IPSC Shotgun today, and Robbie and Claudio were, of course, on site for all of the shenanigans, keeping people's guns up and running. People's guns arrived broken. I was a match director at this one, so was doing, tech inspection. I had people show up with magazine tubes snapped. at the receiver. Yeah. So there was a little overnight shipping action going on, and some tube springs, and man, I mean, like I say, I mean, we are drag racing street cars. Like, they are not made to do what we do. So like, it's just super sweet that we got Briley on scene for most of these things, that they can, man, if they can't bail you out, they could at least
you in trouble. Yeah,
they can at least get you down the road.
Yeah.
And when we actually were talking with Briley, it was we were kind of saying like, oh yeah, we don't need anything, blah blah blah. And of course, I then promptly went and poached a new to me shotgun off of Gunbroker, so shipped it straight there. I think we talked about that last time. Yeah. And I kind of jokingly said, and this is going to be ready next week for the match, right? Knowing that there's no way it's going to be ready. But it was pretty much done before Robbie left. And I think really like only the intricacies of FFL transfers are the only thing that really kept it from being in my hot little hand. But like, it was together enough that he could take a picture of it.
Damn.
So I'm not saying they're all going to get done that fast, but I was shocked that mine got done that fast, and
awesome.
I hope to see it hopefully before the next match ? That would be sweet. But I also finally got with Robbie's help, I finally figured out my OG M2. I was kind of having some like phantom issues with it. Remember from like multi-gun nationals, like I went to the backup gun and the backup gun wasn't much better. Get this, the pin that holds the shell latch in, right? So there's
Yep.
the sheet metal piece on the side of your receiver, or in the newer guns, that's where the articulated latch goes. All right, so on one side it holds the shells into the magazine, and then basically when it lets a shell out on the tray, the back of it is curved. And then when the shell basically runs into that, that's essentially what pushes the button for you. So that's what makes it fully semi-automatic. The pin that holds that in over, I guess, what would we say, almost 15 years of 3-gun now? Well, we'll call it 10 years because there's a little open chapter in there where it was on vacation. On
sabbatical.
That's it. Yes, it had a brief sabbatical there. I took that pin out. Replaced that pin finally. I don't know. It's a $5 part. All right. The grooves from where that pin was worn from the shell latch rubbing back and forth, 0.005 of an inch worn off. All right. Changed that pin. Good as new. Right as rain. Like, people, this is what we're talking about here. It is little stuff. It is literally a sub $5 part that can totally ruin your match. Totally ruin your season. If if it takes you a while to figure out, well, and it is basically down to that part where Robbie was like, well, I guess you could try replacing that pin. I'm like, I guess we could.
Yeah.
and we did. And sure as shit, that thing runs like a champ now.
Wow.
So I was actually stoked to finally have not equipment issues.
Yay.
at a match
Zero
this year.
malfunctions in the whole match?
Yeah. Yep.
Dude.
Zero
man.
shotgun malfunctions.
That's what I'm talking about. Some mental malfunctions, I take it?
Maybe a here and there. I was actually pretty happy with how I did until kind of like most things. It's like the best you're going to feel about your match is that like 30 seconds before you pull up practice score and you look at the scores. And I'm the scorekeeper, so I
looking a lot.
Early. Yeah, I looked pretty early. But I was actually fairly happy with how this one turned out. I'm nursing a little bit of a soft tissue injury right now, so man, I wish I would have figured this out on the front end of the season, but that's neither here nor there. But Briley Manufacturing, for all of your shotgun racing needs, they are the place to go, and I look forward to having the full download on my, I'm going to call it new, but new to me, M2 build very soon. So,
yeah,
and
that's gonna be good.
Of course, it's my favorite time, your favorite time, everyone's favorite time. Riser's got some Gary for us. So the Gary of the day. Oh, did you get that? Did you get that soundbite I sent you?
Yes, that was amazing.
We were sitting around and like
I got that in the class.
Yeah, we you know, we're all good friends on staff here, but you also kind of figure out like, man, we don't hang around as much as we thought we do. So some people pull out some pretty obscure shit. And so I forget what we were talking about, but like, yeah, it was basically like this Instagram guy who like, you could pay him money and he'll just come out with a random song about your friend. And so there is actually an American Gary song, and I sent it straight over to Riser. I'm like, we need to give this guy whatever he wants for royalties right now.
Yeah.
So that we have some music.
It was pretty amazing. Yeah, it was worth it. So, the Gary. All right, so I had to take a hunter safety class this week, and I took mine when I had to take.
Oh, I thought you were teaching.
No. That's not my world at all.
This
so I had to
everything.
take one. Yes, it changes everything. So I did my hunter safety thing when I was like 10. Way back in the day in Washington. My blue card has long since been lost. I got back into archery elk a couple years ago with my buddy Rick. Utah has a trial hunter program where you can basically get like a learner's permit where you have to go hunt with somebody who's a hunter. But then when that expires, you do have to go take your hunter safety. So I had to go take a hunter safety course. It was brutal. And by brutal, I mean extremely long and provided no useful information. I learned.
What's the average age of people in this class?
Well, the young lady sitting next to me was 8.
I was gonna say in Minnesota, everyone would be 12.
Yeah. So no, there were quite a few adults there. I think there were 4 kids in the class. There were 20 people in the class. There were 4 kids. And I don't know, at 45 I might have been the oldest, but a lot of people in their 30s. Like it wasn't, but a very broad range of people. And I learned nothing practical in the entire class. I got there at 8:30 and I left the range at 7:10. So I was on the range for damn near 11 hours. It was brutally slow. The guy who taught it went on several very long political rants, told the story of every person he's ever had through the class and the story of their first animal after the class. He had, this big class slideshow. Literally between every single slide was a slide of one of his students and a 10-minute story about their animal.
Oh,
like
no.
This was a 2-hour class that took 11 hours. It was absolutely heinous. So anyway, so we go to the range. We go out there, half the people on borrowed guns.
Upper Midwest.
The 8-year-old next to me has a cricket rifle. A bunch of other people. Nobody there can shoot. It's just terrifying. And the test thing is like 30 rounds, and so everyone's
30 rounds
bringing the
of
rifles
what?
out. 22 has to be a 22.
Oh god.
It's like 10 from the prone, 10 from sitting, and 10 from standing like one of those deals. And so anyway, so we show up there. Everyone's pulling the rifles out. Like Maxwell said before, I don't have all the guns. I only have the guns that I need to play the sports that I play. So what's my 22? My 22 is a few $1,000s worth of JP rifle with Vortex Razor on top and an offset red dot and an XLR chassis and a giant Hogue grip or a giant ergo grip, and it's a complete clone of my 3-gun rifle. So anybody watching this, I'm sure, has seen some on YouTube. You know what my 3-gun rifle looks.
It wasn't the Voodoo 22.
It wasn't no. I thought about bringing that out, but I actually laid down. I mean, that gun weighs the same as my 6.5 Creedmoor, so it's like a 16-pound rifle, and I'm like, I don't want to shoot this offhand. This is gonna suck so bad. So
you went soft with the 3-gun replica trainer.
Yes, I went soft with that. So anyways, I pull that out of the bag. I lay it down. The kid next to me has one of those 1022 conversions that makes your 1022 sort of kind of look like an AR. He's got like the chassis kit, from.
Oh, so he's your
from
bud.
fucking. Yeah. So I open my bag and I pull it out, and he just goes, "Holy shit!" And I was like, "This is not going to go well." Whole class turns and looks over at me. I'm just like, "Oh god damn it!" So anyway, so the instructor comes walking by, and I got a chamber flag hanging out of it, and he goes, he's like, "You don't need a chamber flag for this one, Sonny." And I'm like, "Well, sir, the bolt doesn't lock back, and you said lock your bolt back, so I figured I'd just put a chamber flag in there and keep you happy." He goes, "It sure does." I'm like, "No, I promise you it does not." He goes, "Let me see it." Oh, this dumbass doesn't know how to run his own gun. So I'm like, "All right, here you go." So I hand him the gun. He fucks with this AR. It's clear that he knows that there's a button on there that does the thing, but he doesn't know which button it is. So he's just kind of poking at stuff and running the bolt. And he's like, give me that magazine. So, I got the little MMP 22 mag. It's empty. I hand it up to him. He puts it in, racks the bolt a couple times, and he goes, "Why isn't it locking back?" I'm like, "Because it's a 22. He goes, "Yeah, but it's an AR. It's supposed to lock back." I'm like, "Yeah, but the bolt release is where it's supposed to be for a full-size 22 because it's a regular AR receiver with a 22. I promise you, sir, it does not work." And he just goes,
"It's like
whatever."
At any point, you could be like, "Hey, man, I spent $3,000 on this. I'm pretty sure if it locked back, I would know."
Yeah, exactly. And so, and then, we come to the shooting part, and, he's like, "All right, 10 from the prone." So I lay down, shoot a little ratty group down there. And, he was talking the whole time about we've
Slow
only
down
ever had a
and
couple.
get your hits.
Yeah, 100%. So I finish up. He's like, "Once you're done shooting, stand up." So, I shoot my 10 at 1 a second or something like that. I'm not going crazy. Just shoot my 10. And I stand up, and he goes, "Ooh, we got a show off down here." He says somebody's going to have to slow way down if he's going to get some points on that paper. And then he walks down, everything's just in a little rat hole group. And anyways, yeah. So the Hunter's Ed thing, apparently if you put all 30 rounds in the thing, it's a perfect score and it's a big deal. And he's like, "Oh yeah, but he's talking about how, nobody shot a perfect score this season and everything else. And we get to the end of it, and he looks at my group and he just goes, "Yeah, sure, we're shooting mighty fast," and just walked off. And I was like, "All right, whatever, dude." There's people there who literally didn't hit the paper. And I'm like, "Hey, man, how about you spend some time teaching this 8-year-old next to me how to shoot? I clearly know what I'm doing. Just leave me the fuck alone."
Well, yeah, right. And he hadn't picked up on this vibe. I don't know.
No,
day.
not at all. Not at all.
Oh my god. I had that experience one time very early in my career. We went to an indoor range. I was still in my IDPA phase, right? So I am not hot shit. I'm not even a sharpshooter in IDPA at this point. And they have one of those signs at the indoor range, "No rapid fire."
Yep.
And so I was like, bang, 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 with my 45. And then the old guy next to me was like, "Hey, hey!" And he's pointing at the sign while I'm while I'm like have the electric track bringing my target back, and it was just like in Lethal Weapon, you know. He's like he's like no rapid fire, and I was like, oh, I meant to make a frowny face.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, so the Gary of the day was the literal orange jersey, orange vest wearing instructor for my hunter's ed class. Like,
they're always a good time.
Holy hell, dude. It was brutal.
Which it's just
anyways.
like I just can't how dense do you have to be to not pick up on like, hey, this ain't your first rodeo with a gun.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
Like it's like, just being around it, like you can just tell. Like there's guys like in my world, I'll go and visit, you know, we call them red shirts. I call them red shirts, but the instructor cadre for an agency. And some bigger agencies, that's like a full-time position for like multiple people.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, I was making conversation with the guy talking about whatever we're talking about. One in particular, I'm out in California right now. It was a California agency, the guy I'm thinking of in particular. And he's fidgeting with his Glock and his holster, you know, blah, blah, blah. And we're talking this and that and the other thing. And like, you know, I forget how it came up, but I was like, well, I mean, how many rounds do you shoot a year? And he's like, oh, well, like 50,000. I'm like, shut up. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're like, oh, yeah, I do. And I'm like, no, there's no way you do. Because anybody that shoots 50,000 rounds a year doesn't touch a gun the way you do.
Yeah.
like
zero chance.
You just can't. There's just zero chance. Like your body won't let you do it. Like you just
yeah.
Don't. So it's like it's just weird to be like, you know, I just picture Reiser just pulling this JP out of the case. I'm like, oh, Sonny, you don't know how to lock the bolt back on that? Like, no, you know what? Could you help me, please? Like,
I did. So there was a moment in class where like we're getting towards the end. It's 4:00. We haven't gone to the range yet, and I'm just like, God damn it! When are we going to get out of here? You know, he's telling another story, and then he's showing the slides of like, this is your prone firing position. This is your CETO shoot. You know, and it's like cutting edge from 1985, and you know he's explaining how to do all this stuff, and I'm like, I want so badly just to walk up and be like, hey man, I'm literally a professional shooter. Can you just give me my thing so I can go? And so at one point he's like, yep, the best score we've ever had here was a guy that came through. He shot a 95%, only dropped 2 shots, and he was a sharpshooter for the United States Marine Corps shooting team. Anybody here think they can beat that? And literally my shoulder, like my shoulder went up, and my internal voice was like, dude, put your fucking arm down or you're never going to get out of here. And so I was like, nope.
Like, hey, you want Peyton's number?
I'm just going to keep my mouth shut, and we're going to be as efficient as we can. Like, please, God, just let me go, man. I just want to go home. I'm so hungry.
That bolt lock story reminds me. I was talking to my friend Eli over at Alchemy Custom Weaponry, which he and I nerd out in a completely other gun related way outside of shooting sports. And he was saying they basically have to stop building their guns so good. Like people like the really tight, you know, like less bare, tight lock up barrel fits on those, like hard fit barrels. Like everybody thinks they want a hard fit barrel until they do hard fit barrel things. And he's like, we had to stop doing that because he's like, we just got so many calls. Like it was all day. Like, oh, I can't get. He had a guy at a store literally. He said what did he say? The guy says, I lift 100-pound kettlebells every day and I cannot open this slide. And he's like, all right, send it back. And Eli like goes FaceTime, you know, live and like, you know, like, well, you must blah blah blah. He's like, it sucks. We literally can't make our guns the way we want to because people are just too dense. Yeah, it's wild. But working in the gun store. Oh, I have to see that it's clear before I log it into the FFL book. It's like, yeah, a manufacturer shipped you a loaded gun. Come on, buddy. Anyway,
yeah, it was. an eye-opening experience. I haven't been. I avoid public ranges like my life depends on it, which it kind of literally does. But and I haven't been around like that level of just people who had no idea what they were doing and needed to be treated like they were children. The children were the safest people there. Everybody else was a damn shit show. So, yeah. Yeah, I would have happily gone hunting with any of the kids there and felt perfectly safe. The adults, absolutely not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Jesus.
All right.
Well, all right. Let's get into it, buddy.
Here we go, guys. So, you know them, you love them. We are 5 rounds into the IPSC World Shoot Shotgun selection process. For the year. We just had the Jeff Kirkwall Memorial, so the 11th year of my memorial match that I do, and this year we changed formats. It used to be a 3-gun shoot-off match, and people wanted 1-gun matches. The 3-gun matches were getting kind of lighter attendance, and shoot-off matches were even more so. So we made a shotgun match this year to somewhat supplement this and kind of go in a new direction. But, we're the 5th round of a 6-round series. There is 1 match left in Nebraska. Help me out. Where is it's where Hornady is. Where Zombies is.
Yeah, it's the Hornady Range.
I'm drawing a huge blank on the town's name. It's
don't know.
Nebraska.
I've never
It's the
been
only
to
town
Nebraska.
that's there.
You can see it from literally any part of the state if you get on something tall enough.
Yeah.
Is it Grand Island?
Grand Island, yes, thank you.
Grand Island, there it is.
Tom, I'm sorry, Tom. So there's 1 round left. However, we are starting to see some clarity in some of the teams because there's only so many points left to get. And before we lose any of you, if you have your eyes towards IPSC rifle qualifiers, yes, we have been working on what those dates would be for next year. I could tentatively let you know that there's probably going to be one at Griffin Group in about March time. There's talks of one being in the Georgia area May, June time. There is one actually posted right now in California, July. It's the week after Nationals. And there's rumors of one at Rio Salado. Big question mark on that one yet. And then bringing up the tail end would be Texas in about late September, early October. So the rifle series is taking shape as well. We are really just trying to nail down those dates so we can get them announced. We want to get them announced before Thanksgiving for sure, so everybody can see them. But yes, somebody is working on that. I am exponentially less interested in IPSC rifle than I am in IPSC shotgun, so I am helping, but I'm not going to be as involved as I was this year with this. Just fair warning for everybody. If you're out there, this is your call to action. But we're 5 rounds in of a 6-round series, so there's only so many points left to get. So let's run it down, and let's see, standings-wise, how things are shaking up. So, Reiser, have you looked at these scores at all, or are you just going off of my notes?
I have not. I'm rolling off of your notes. Or actually, I'm not rolling off of your notes because you forgot to attach your attachment. So I have no notes, so you're going to have to quarterback
this.
Thanks
for timing me out, but you should probably go to ipsc-usa.com and follow along.
I will provide interesting color commentary throughout.
All right. So, open division at the top. Are you surprised? No, you're not.
No, you're not.
You got Varric Bizey on top. John actually edged him out this time. And once again, they were within a point. So it was.
I would like to say again, the Varric versus John matchup has been so awesome to watch this year.
Oh yeah, and it occurred to me while I was gazing off into the distance as I was going to my camper, it's like they camp next to each other. So like they're more like they are different. They pretty much hang out with each other the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was John with the dub, got a hundo. which is his second hundo, and Varick got a 99.086. So they're freaking close. To which
So you said it backwards
yesterday,
to start. You said that Varick won it,
Yeah.
but
well,
is Varick
I
up
guess
on points total?
From a team standpoint, Varick has 300.
Okay.
300 is the best you can do. John has 298.65. So I guess I'm just looking at overall qualifier
They are
points.
officially in. John and Varick are going.
They are in. And
anybody who did not have that on their bingo card sucks at math.
well, like my buddy Ruben said yesterday, he was like, man, I wish they would stop pushing each other so hard so there'd be some points for the rest of us.
Yeah, no shit, dude. Like, lay up, guys. Come on.
But, so, and then sitting in from a team selection standpoint, sitting in third right now is your boy Brian Nelson.
Well,
Brian put up a 91.456. And so cumulatively, he has a 279.71, which is kind of a shakeup because he shot the first 2 rounds, and it was kind of rumored that he wasn't going to be at this match, and he signed up 2 days ahead of time, and so we're like, oh well, this will be interesting. Somebody's work schedule changed.
Yeah.
But so Brian jumped in there, and he got this is his third score with a 91. So he's sitting on a 99, an 88, and now a 91. Currently sitting in fourth on the team would be Scott Green. Scott Green, of course, from the first match.
Coming back.
He's back, baby, because he's got a 99. He's got that 88 that he's super pissed about.
Yep.
Or wait. Nope. He's got an 86 that he was super pissed about. And then I usually have a ruler. A 96 from Kansas. And then an 89 from this match. And so he is just behind Brian with a 71.8. 271.8.
Ooh. Tight.
Yep. And then right behind him, Joe Farewell, 269. Joe, I was on Joe's squad this weekend, and he was shooting awesome. But
his Instagram indicated that he was maybe too aggressive in places.
Yeah, and a little bit some Genesis doing Genesis things.
Oh yeah, that happens.
Sorry, buddy, but yeah. Yeah, I think he might have had some trash can mags as well.
Yeah, these matches do make trash can mags.
So he got an 80.4 this weekend, which is not. That's his fourth score, but it is his lowest score. So he did not move up. He did not move up the chain. Essentially, Brian Nelson came out of nowhere and bumped Scott and Joe down.
Yeah. And so it sounds like all three of those guys are still kind of running for those last 2 spots, because if somebody puts a hundo into that thing at the last one, they can get in, right?
I think, again, like, the spreadsheets don't jump off the page to me. So this is just me from like a very elementary level. To me, it looks like the top 2 or 3 spots in all the teams are pretty solid. The bubble spots are, it's good old Mexican standoff as to like who's gonna do better.
That's what I would expect at this point in the game.
Yeah, which is kind of what we want, right? But
it checks out. So it sounds like Nebraska's gonna be a pretty good match.
Yeah, Nebraska, I think, is gonna be some heat.
Did I see right on? Did I see right on some Instagram reels? Were you doing live commentary there?
Yes. However, pause. So we did want to keep. So the shoot off is a staple of this match that we've been doing, and so the thought was, it's the match that we used to do was completely centered around the shoot off. We would shoot 4 or 5 stages on Saturday, seed a bracket, and then the only thing we did on Sunday was a big shoot-off for everybody in the match. Double elimination. We had 2 full bays going. It was a whole thing. And people really loved that, and so we wanted to keep that going. And so the idea was, well, it's a shotgun match, so we could actually move the shoot-off over by the clubhouse where they have lights on their
That's pretty cool.
on their skeet fields. And we also traditionally do a cookout over there. So in the past, that was where we would give out the prizes. So like you would get your draw bag for whatever you got, and people would hang out, and there would be a cookout there and a beer garden and stuff. And so we were trying to, like, all right, now we could just move that over. We can make that a part of the cook-off or the cookout, and we could do it under the lights, which would make it a bit cooler. And then we've been talking a lot behind the scenes with Action Gunner about doing some more collaborative stuff with Action Gunner on the perf, that match, and stuff in general. Like, Action Gunner is really trying to be a little bit more of a hub of action shooting information and content. And
it's really the spot for your 3-gun season.
Yes.
Their calendar is like the place to go to just have an overview of what the season looks like and what matches are available. And not just like a spot on a calendar that says this match is on this date, but like a whole page of like, this is the style of match, this, a little bit like it's very, very well done.
Yep. There's blog articles there. You'll probably see our show getting syndicated there probably in the future. And they sell stuff too. So he's got a trailer now. Like, he sells kind of like some necessity trinket stuff. But also, however, Sean is one of the guys in and around the F5 production stuff with Josh Freilich. So in the contenting piece, he's kind of involved in all the sizzle reels that you see F5 doing. So he's involved in all of that. And so, but yeah, Sean's been a very good photographer and videographer for a long time. He started showing up on Wednesday nights just because he wanted to get some like cool shots. He wanted something cool to shoot with his camera. He was a shooter too, but he's like, oh well, here, he started playing around with contenting stuff. Suffice to say, he has the nice cameras, and he's actually an IT guy by trade on the back end. I'm not sure exactly how he would describe himself, but he's a very smart computer guy. So his idea was, he was like, hey, what would you think about me live streaming the shoot-off? And I'm like, yeah, like, if you could do that, like, yeah, I'm game. And so he had like everything. He had the Starlink, he had everything. And basically, we just stepped up, and myself and Kevin Harrington, we just kind of started commentating the shoot-off, running it down. And he actually live streamed it, and I believe you can go back and watch it now. So on Action Gunner's YouTube, you can go and watch this shoot-off that we're talking about. But yeah, whoever wanted to, and we had about 30 people who wanted to just shoot off for fun. And we had an angel investor who wanted to make it interesting, and he put $300 or no, $400 in every division. So we had a bit of a cash purse. We had some trophies, and like I say, because it was a little bit different group, people didn't really kind of understand. Like, there was a half dozen people who were like, "Oh yeah, I'll shoot the shoot off," and then when like it actually came time, they're like, "Oh yeah, like I'm just gonna go."
Yeah.
Like, okay, but you're not gonna win any money, so whatever. Like, I was kind of downplaying how much money we had to give out.
Yep.
But yeah, so yes, we did live stream it. We did some commentary on it, and there was a shoot off. I have visions of bigger and better for next year. The targets were actually a lot more challenging than we thought they were going to be. There was still a lot of full choke action.
Interesting.
Some of them were kind of hard to knock over because the guy who set it up wasn't really... He's seen us set up a shoot-off before, but he isn't an action shooter himself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like usually a shoot off with shotguns is a cylinder choke experience at full send. So
there was a toaster with a
funny.
flying clay in concept, and we kind of vetoed that. We're like, no, it's gonna be too much. And we had kind of a curfew. Also, we had to cut it off by 10 o'clock. So we just barely got done on time the way it was. But yes, we did do a shoot off as well. It was super fun. I like doing shoot offs. I never get to do them because I'm always facilitating them, and most people are boring on the microphone. So I just focus
I like
on
doing
that.
shoot offs as long as they're not inhibiting my ability to go home after a match.
Yeah,
Like the shoot off that's like, hey, and now you're stuck on the range for 5 hours. On a later date, we will get way into the last shoot off that I participated in Las Vegas, and the short version is Andy Peterson left the match after he got done shooting, and when I called him when I left the match, he was pulling into his driveway in Salt Lake, which was 7 hours from where the range was. So that's how much more time I sat on the range. I was not happy.
The original concept was we were going to shoot some shotgun stuff AM. There was going to be a PM pistol match, but our USPSA section coordinator, Kevin Collins, screwed us on that. And not salty. But that ended up getting canceled. So the concept was going to be shoot the stages, take a break, and then come back around 6:30 or so, hang out, have some chicken wings, and then we're going to do the shoot-off. We ended up having a rain delay for lightning, so we had to delay. We officially delayed an hour, and we were already starting an hour later than we did for Multi-Gun Nationals because we didn't notify the neighbors we were going to start shooting at 8. So the original start time was 10. We pushed it, the original shoot time was 9. We pushed it to 10, and everything runs slow when it's wet. So we kind of like got done shooting around 3, 4 o'clock, and then kind of people either hung out or came back. But the idea is like you're going to be done shooting, go get something to eat, clean up, change clothes, do whatever you do, take a break, and come back.
Well, and I think the important thing here is you're talking about Saturday.
Yes, Saturday.
So people aren't trying to get home.
Yes.
They're just hanging out. They're just hanging out.
Just hanging out anyway.
In Forest Lake anyways.
Yeah. It's like, we're a bunch of shooters. What do we want to do when we're hanging out? We want to shoot. So
that's a super different thing. I am super down for the Saturday shoot-off.
But yeah. So back to team selection. That's kind of the top 4 or 5. In theory, again, I'm not your math guy, but I can figure that if someone were to win the match in Nebraska, they would get 100 points. So if they took their 2 best scores and 100 points, it's theoretically possible down to 9th place. If, like, God forbid, Varric Bizey and John Waddell are on the same plane and it crashes, they could.
Are John and Varric going to Nebraska? Because they're already in.
I don't know. I imagine they are because they're just psychos like that.
They shoot everything. Yeah.
Yeah. But so Kyle Roble in 9th place could theoretically do it if he won, which no zinger on Kyle, but like I don't see Kyle beating Brian Nelson, Scott Green, Joe Farewell, Ruben Alexson, Keith Garcia, and Mike Whitesides if he shows up. But below that, when you get down into like, I'm sorry, I'm right here with you, buddy. All right, so like Daniel, like he could win the next match and he wouldn't make it to the bubble spot in 4th.
Sorry, Daniel. We love you, buddy.
So a hundo wouldn't do it for him. But anywhere in there, it's theoretically possible that Kyle Roble, Mike Whitesides, Keith Garcia, Ruben Alex, and Joe Farewell, depending how Nebraska shakes out, depending who shows up there and how well they do. So, like, if John and Varric show up, which all indications are they would, if they show up and if they continue to push, it's probably going to be pretty hard to change that 3rd, 4th spot. But If not, or the unforeseen happens, an injury, a family emergency, catastrophic equipment malfunction.
Yeah, I was going to say, shotguns are going to shotgun. Like, it's not impossible to just have a couple zero stages in there because, God didn't like you that day. So
yeah, and realistically, I think open division is probably the deepest that it goes, like participation-wise, and like it's, I think, probably the densest towards the top. So
yep.
That's open
division.
Out. Modified division. This one hurts a little bit because
because he's going to read his name.
Because I'm in here and I did
it's not
the
math,
and
really.
I know I'm officially out of a lot of stuff has to happen for me to make the team. But we got AJ sitting on the top with a 99, 100, and 100, so he's got 299. Shocked. Taylor Olhausen didn't come to this match, but he has a hundo, a 97, and a 95. He's a solid number 2. Everybody pretty much had them locked, I would think, in our heads.
Yeah, anybody who didn't have the two of them sitting at the top wasn't paying attention. From
here, it gets interesting. All right, because I think everybody, I'll say, just for fun of the show, I'll say everybody like 4th to 10th could kind of go either way. Like, it's kind of like a working breed dog. Like, they can be docile a lot of the time, but they can still bite you. All right. So like right now, third on the team right now, sitting in the 3rd spot in the standings, Sam Larkin. All right. He's got a hundo, an 89, which is kind of low for a team score. I don't know anybody that's happy with 80s that's trying to get on this team. So he's got 100, an 89, a 67, and an 87. So on any given day, Sam could win, throw down a 90, or throw down an 80.
Or a 60.
Or a 60, right?
And this is what we're talking about. Like, this is a game where things can come off the rails so fast that it can really upset the turnip cart.
Yep. Right behind him, Connor Freiberger. He's got an 87, a 92, and a 96. And he DQ'd this match. He didn't get a score for this match. So 87, 92, 96. So a solid high 80s, low 90s shooter. Definitely in contention for that 3rd, 4th spot. Dylan Easley. All right, Dylan Easley. He's got an 85.5, a 94, and an 84. Same thing. Any given day, Dylan's good for a high 80s, low 90s. Or, I mean, if he hooks, I do believe that Dylan could win. Mind you, I think AJ's got youth on most of the other people in this division, except Connor. But like Dylan definitely a force to be reckoned with here. And then Hunter Andreas. Hunter Andreas is the last one that could, if he won in Nebraska, a hundo would flip him up into the spot, the 4th spot. In a vacuum, of course, assuming nothing else changed. So it's theoretically possible for Hunter Andreas to do well in Nebraska and get on the team. And he's sitting on an 89, an 85, and an 88.
That's pretty consistent.
And then right behind him is Andrew Tarver. Andrew Tarver's got a 90, an 85, and an 80. And then I'm right behind him. I got 2 scores that I'd rather forget about. And then I got an 81, an 80, and an 82. And then we got some wild cards in here as well. We have one, Lena Miklik. Now, Lena only has 2 scores coming into this weekend, but they were both 96s. So she's sitting on a pair of 96s, signed up super late for the match, Diva 30, if you will. Shot half the match and then had a family emergency. She has publicly posted on Facebook her dog died. All right. So Saturday night, switched her flight, went home, didn't show for Sunday. So she shot exactly half of the match DNF'd half of the match, and she got a 51-7. So not a threshold score. Not a threshold score.
Not fucking around before she left.
Yeah, she was not fucking around, and she has a not threshold score, which means if she wants to be eligible, she does have to show up to Nebraska. I don't know if that was her plan or if she was planning on this one dunking it and being in there. But she's a consistent performer so far in the high 90s, which would theoretically be possible. It's very possible, I would say, for her to flip into that third or fourth spot on the team, overall team. We aren't even talking about ladies yet, just the overall team. Also in that conversation is Houston Russell of the Army Marksmanship Unit. Houston has a 94 from this spring. He's got a hundo from South Carolina. He no-showed Kansas, and he had a family emergency for this match. So he only has 2 scores. But he is a proven performer, high 90s, or could win if he shows up to Nebraska. So those are kind of the 2 asterisks outside of 6th place. If they show up to Nebraska and they throw down high 90s, they could flip the standings for the team. There's also rumors.
Yeah, I'd say other than the top 2, absolutely nothing is locked down in this division.
Yeah, and like there's also rumors. I heard them second or third hand, but there's talk of like people laying up in Nebraska for other people to do very well, that hopefully they would get on the team. That's 4D chess, pretty technical, but it's being talked about. But modified. Me and the missus are having a heart-to-heart on are we pursuing delegation slots or not. Standard division. In standard division, right at the top there, surprise to no one, Nate Staskowitz. He's sitting on a solid 95 and 97 and a hundo. He did not show to Minnesota. Word on the street was he's pretty comfortable with his 3 scores. He doesn't feel like he needs to come. He's in.
Yeah.
Right behind him, Jeremy Leitner. Jeremy's sitting on a hundo from this spring. He's got a South Carolina that he'd rather forget about. And then he's got a 92.2 and an 89, which has him sitting on the second spot for 281.3. Right behind him is Matt Martini with a 95, a hundo from South Carolina, and an 84. And then just behind him, Evan Craig with a 94, a 96, and an 83. I think I was on Evan's squad. I think he might have had a little shotgun. He might have had a little equipment tizzy. Can't remember for sure. But I mean, almost a kind of like an uncharacteristically low 83 compared to a 94 and a 96 that he had before.
I mean, he is shooting. He's still shooting a Stoger. Isn't he
is still shooting a Stoger, which I'm like, that is a bold move, Cotton. Like
it might just that soft metal might just be starting to give up the ghost here.
I'm hoping somebody's getting a Benelli for Christmas. Is what I'm hoping.
Yeah. Mom, Dad, are you listening? Evan's putting in a lot of work. He deserves a new shotgun.
And then almost freaking tied. So Evan's got a 273.8. Right behind him with a 273.2 is J.K. Khan. His scores, the last 3 rounds, he's been 90, 92, and 91. So J.K. right there in that conversation as well. And then local flavor, Tim Ho, is the last one that could theoretically do it if he won. Again, like, peace and love, but Tim's not going to win Nebraska. If he goes, I think he might have said he's going to go to Nebraska, but it's also we're not really sure if how serious he is about actually going to Greece. But Tim Ho is the last one that statistically, if he got a hundo, could flip the scores and get into 4th place. Just out of reach would be Shiloh Mattoon. And then we get into Becky Yackley, Jalise Williams, Hannah Nichols. I think we know which team they're trying to get on. And then wild card in 13th would be Chuck Lowe. Chuck Lowe no-showed the first 3 matches, got in the game in Kansas with a 98.3, and then he won standard in Minnesota. So he's sitting on a 198.
Chuck is shooting well this year.
Yeah.
He's shooting really well this year.
If Chuck shows up to Nebraska and does Chuck things, he could get in the running for the team, and I would be very surprised if he didn't. So I would put my money that Chuck flips that 4th spot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Chuck is actually the only person besides AJ to win a 3-gun match overall in modified division this year, because he won the South Carolina match.
Yes.
So yeah, Chuck ain't messing around.
Yeah, Chuck ain't no joke. And then kind of trails off from there. Standard manual actually got fairly interesting. Again, peace and love. Peace and love. All right. You're my boy, Blue. All right. It's just this is just for the people, okay? Okay?
I love where this is going.
In first place, with a solid 300, Ross Haney. I don't think anybody's surprised there. Dude.
No.
Dude can stroke a pump gun. I don't know what to tell you. Right behind him, Sam Rydberg. He's a Minnesota guy. We kind of jokingly say, like, we went out into the cornfields and said, "Hey, your country needs you, son." And so we pulled. I think we kind of pulled Sam out of retirement. I think he actually camped at the range in his car. He showed up for registration. He's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna go sleep in my car over there."
That's gangster.
And he pulls out a 99.85, sleeping in his car. Like,
I feel like you should get an automatic 3% sleeping in your car.
I mean, I kind of want to offer him like a camper, but at the same time, like, it's working for him. So like, I don't want.
Yeah.
No,
it's oh man, it's like he's just going full like Rocky 5. Like, you just got to go to the most inhospitable place for training.
Yeah.
And then the actual match is easy.
Yeah. And he showed up to registration in a Flex Fit hat, not his fedora. I almost didn't recognize the guy. In third place, Evan Nichols.
Wait, back up. So, my guy wears a fedora in a cornfield?
Yeah. I don't.
Okay.
I don't actually know. I think. Sam, I'm really sorry if this is not correct, but I think he might be like a Mennonite or something like that.
Huh.
So, I don't know, but he does have a distinctive style. I don't think we could argue that. Homeboy has been shooting.
Person that can.
He's been shooting he's your heavy metal shooter that shows up with an M14 or an M1A.
Solid.
So that's how we know Sam can shoot a pump gun, because he's one of the last true gunfighters in heavy.
Sick.
And then third place, Evan Nichols bailed on modified super early, and he decided to go the manual route. So he's sitting in third place with an 87, a 93, and an 87.65 in Minnesota with a 268. And then fourth place was Travis Vogel, who did shoot this match. He shot 81, but he's got his counting scores are a 67, a 70, and an 81. He had a 62 from Texas this spring. And I can quote him as saying, "Nobody has enough points to beat me." And then Tennille Chittister beat him. She beat him, to be fair. She beat him because she got a hundo in South Carolina, where nobody, Ross, Sam, Evan, and Travis did not shoot South Carolina. So Tennille won South Carolina, so she's got a hundo, and that's why she flipped Travis. But her other scores, her other counting scores, her Texas score isn't going to count, but her counting scores, she's got 100, a 66, and a 61. And when she's shot against Ross, she gets 66 and 61. And so it's somewhat controversial around, well, okay, what's going to happen with that fourth slot? I don't really know. I'm on the committee, but like I'm not the only one on the committee. I think pretty much part of the structure around how we set this up was it's objective, not subjective, who gets picked. But that one could be one to keep an eye on, and I'm sure that will be a long chapter on the Zoom call. And then after Travis, there's not really much to talk about because
so
there aren't very many qualifying
is Trav
scores.
going to Kansas?
Oh, thank you for asking that because I forgot. I don't think Travis can go to Kansas.
Oh,
I think he
interesting.
I think he is tied up with work. So I don't know if he can. I didn't hear. He said he would have to shoot on Thursday. I don't know if that's actually possible or not. So, I don't know if the match is going to be built yet on Thursday or if staff shoot's going to be on Thursday. I think the staff shoot is Friday and the main match is Saturday, and it's a one day format. But he and Tom are very close. They might work something out. That was very much TBD when I left the office yesterday.
Interesting.
And that's your overall categories. Now we get into this is where some of my gray hair comes from. Some of these other categories. Open lady. Plenty of signs of life in open lady. However, Lanny Barnes, shocking to no one. Lanny Barnes is putting up pretty consistent 70, mid-70s. She's got a 76, a 74, and a 75. She didn't shoot last fall, and she didn't shoot South Carolina. So every match she showed up to so far, she pretty much puts down a 75. If she shows up to Nebraska, I'd be shocked if she didn't. Remember, This is percentage of John and Varick. All right? So, it's hard to get some freaking points in this division.
This is good shooting.
This is very good shooting. This is very good shooting, and you don't even need the caveat for a girl. This is just good shooting.
Yes.
In second place, she did not shoot Minnesota, but in second place we got Amory Reed. She's got 192 overall. That's what's got her in the second place. She shot, if we just work backwards, in Kansas, she got a 66.6. South Carolina, she got a 71.1. Texas this spring, she got a 54. So this is where it gets tricky because remember, threshold.
You need 3 scores over 60.
You need 3 scores over 60. So this is where some of the stuff where in committee, are they going to say, well, 54 is pretty close? Or are they going to say, nope, didn't make threshold. We're going to go somewhere else with the slots. I don't know. And I'm not going to speak for the committee on that yet. Third place, we got Jacqueline Cleary, who is Minnesota, part of the Minnesota posse. I wish could you guys get together and give the Minnesota crew a cool name? We got the Michigan Mafia.
Oh, you know what? Somebody did. I don't remember who. I think they hit me up on Instagram or they texted me or somebody. I don't remember whoever it was. I apologize. They came up with the Minnesota Meanies.
What is it?
Minnesota Meanies.
Meanies like we're mean?
Like you're mean. And then had
the irony
very
is kind of fun, yeah.
Then had a very long explanation as to why. And I will find it for you guys later. I'm going to have to dig back through some stuff. It was one of the few things that I didn't copy and paste into our big text document we keep for this show.
That story,
but yeah,
that story might check out. Bring me back to that.
Yeah.
But JC, we're very stoked for her to be shooting this well. But yeah, she's got a 62, a 66, and a 61. So she is consistently shooting threshold scores for ladies open. And then this is what sucks about these. Fourth place is Allison McGilly. Allison, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your last name. But Allison is fourth place. She's got a 48. That's no good. 54, 56, and a 55. So close, but not threshold. So it could be argued that there either is or isn't viable talent in open lady
to make a team.
Yep. And it trails off from there. I mean, I guess Tina Garcia is kind of in a similar boat. Tina's got a 50, a 59, a 52, and a 48. So still, she's right there. Technically not threshold, but we as intelligent people could see that she's right there. Megan Roble, Megan's a 44, a 50, a 49, and like I say, it's kind of trailing off from there. So I'm not quite sure what's going to happen on open lady. Really just hoping that we have some awesomeness in Nebraska and we just don't have to speculate. Similar case in modified lady. At the top, of course, we have Lena Michalak
with 2 scores.
Well, she's got 3.
Yeah.
She's got a 96, a 96, and a 51. So she's got...
Oh, gotcha, yep.
She's got 2 threshold scores. She's beating everyone else by a lot. But she doesn't have 3 threshold scores yet. So we're kind of looking for, is she going to shoot Nebraska? If she does, we could reasonably assume she's going to put up a 96, which would put her in range of the modified overall team. And now we got ourselves...
formerly known as the men's team.
Yeah, so formerly known as the men's team, we got ourselves a good old... Not old, but the classic Justine Williams question, all right? Well, is she going to shoot overall or is she going to shoot lady? And I don't know how that will go. I believe it's her choice, and I don't know how she would feel about that. I know her. She knows... I know, obviously I know her. She knows me, but, I don't have her number. All right, so I don't know how she would feel about that. My perception of her be she wants to shoot on the overall team. The counterpoint to that would be we could pretty easily replace her on the overall team, and the overall team would be at the same strength. The inverse could not be said for the ladies' team. If Lena is not on the ladies' team is exponentially weaker. But it's her choice if she wants to shoot on. I think it's her choice if she wants to shoot on the overall or the ladies' team. Second, right now in the standings for modified lady would be Ursula Williams. And Ursula has legit qualifying scores. She got a 67, a 63, and a 60. As her scores for the standings. And then it gets unfortunate. Heather Miller jumped in late. So at South Carolina, she shot a 60. She did not shoot Kansas. And then in Minnesota, she shot a 63. So I think Heather is serious about trying to qualify now. And so I believe her intention is to shoot Nebraska. And we could reasonably assume that she's going to throw up at least a 60 there. So we're going to have Heather Miller with qualifying scores. But then the fourth slot is Cindy Coker. Cindy Cindy is guilty of division hopping, so she only has 2 modified scores, and her modified scores are a 54 and a 52. And then it trails off from there. So, like, we have some viability towards the top of Lady Modified, but there's a lot that could or could not happen in Lady Modified so far.
Very uncertain future here.
Very dependent on Lena. Very dependent on how Lena shoots and how she feels about which team she's going to be on. And that's her truth to tell. Standard Lady is a little bit more optimistic. We got a dominant Becky Yackley on top. She's been swinging the whole season. She only missed South Carolina, but she's got an 88, a 77, a 78, and she threw away her Minnesota score with a 76. Behind her is Jalise Williams with a 74, a 73, and a 73. Woo! Behind her, Hannah Nichols, 72, 74, 72. And then we got Ashlyn Thomas just kind of eking in there. She's got a 69, a 67, and Minnesota, she got a 54. So we could round out a ladies standard team. We would really like to see Ashlyn Thomas go to Nebraska and put up another mid-60s. And then kind of behind her, we had Crystal with a 61, a 58, and her Minnesota score was not eligible. And it kind of trails off from there. The real story.
Nebraska's going to be really interesting.
Nebraska's going to be a banger.
Who saw that coming?
It's either going to be a lot of action to maintain the status quo, or it's going to be a huge shakeup and what the hell happened.
Yeah.
In Open Senior, I don't know what the heck to think of Open Senior because, again, these guys are shooting. They're basing their score. They're benchmarking off their scores of Varick and John. And there are guys, like I say, I'm fairly confident Whiteside said he's going to be aging into this category. So he's not currently a senior, but by the time of the match, he will be a senior. So, and Mike is, for those who forgot already, Mike is sitting 8th in the overall for Open at a 256, which would put him in 2nd place in senior right now amongst these guys. But we got Keith Garcia sitting at the top. I don't know if that didn't surprise anybody. Keith's got an 82, a 91, and he got another 91 in Minnesota. I'm not sure if he's going to let that ride or if he's going to show up in Nebraska or not. I could see Keith going either way. I would love as many people as possible to shoot Nebraska, but I could also see Keith saying, like, yeah, ain't nobody going to beat me. Or at least ain't no 3 people going to beat me.
Yep.
Right behind him, the first dad of 3-gun, Todd Waddell. He's sitting on a 70.9, an 81, and a 71 for a 223 in 2nd. Santiago Lobos is sitting on a 70, a 78, and a 70 for a 220. So pretty tight on Todd. And then Ron, I want to say it Fuchs because that's how it would be said in Minnesota, but I know he pronounced it different, and I can't remember how he says it. It's not the F-bomb. He says it a different way.
I feel like I remember him saying it Faux.
Maybe that's it.
But I'm not sure. Sorry, Ron.
Central Minnesota would
buddy.
be Fuchs, so that's just kind of how it comes out. I'm sorry. It's just the endearment of my accent. But he's got a 74, a 71, and a 72, so very consistent in the 70s. But if we play with the hundo rule, we could go pretty deep into these guys, and so like technically Chris Donahue, if Chris Donahue just comes out and wins the whole damn thing, he could flip himself up into that team selection place. I don't have that on my bingo card, but it is statistically possible. But we go pretty deep. So really, I think depending how they come out swinging in Nebraska, I mean, Jason, Steve, Han, George, Chris, any of those guys really could put down a solid match and get into the Open Senior team. So I think we got a lot to be decided yet in Open Senior, but we definitely have interest and viability in an Open Senior team. I would say we're fielding an Open Senior team almost for sure.
Sweet.
And then
I only got 5 years left.
Yeah, right.
It's coming.
Yep. Keep training. And then really in Open Super Senior is really the other one that we have scores in. And really MIG is the only one that's shot threshold scores in that division. So I don't really see an Open Super Senior team getting fielded. But I'm pretty sure MIG's going to go on a delegation spot. He also is on the committee. And yeah, that is kind of the latest, what we have standings-wise for Team USA for the Shotgun World Shoot. And I asked you to bring me back to something. What was it?
Was it Vogel?
No, it was wasn't Vogel. It was something about I'll just come out with it. All right. So if Riser, now you're not a cheater.
I am not.
If you were going to cheat, how would you do it?
If I was going to cheat trying to get a slot in this match?
Yep.
I mean, I would try somehow to get the people who are definitely going to put 30% into everybody to not show up so I could get a higher score.
But things you're in control of, it would probably be ammo, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, things I'm in control of. I thought you were talking about, like, big picture, use the force.
Oh.
What do you want to happen? Yeah, I mean, like, that's kind of the only thing that you can really cheat on, but I don't know, other than the buckshot stages or manufacturing your own slugs.
Well, it's interesting you say that.
Know. I don't know, like, where you would go with it other than those two. I would say flight control buck would be where I would cheat if I was going to cheat.
Yep. So everybody that's been blowing me up with nuanced rules that they want enforced from IPSC, you know me, Riser. I like to mess with people. So, like, just because you want me to enforce the rules doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to enforce the rules that you cherry-picked. I'm going to maybe pick some other ones. So a couple days before the match, we decided we were going to check buckshot.
I bet that was interesting.
Yep. Now, my guys are good. Okay? My ROs, they're not my ROs. Our group of ROs is very good. They're very good. And we have a couple guys who went way down the rabbit hole on the buckshot stuff. Like way down the rabbit hole. And so we were talking about it amongst ourselves, like, man, I really want to check this. How do we do it? But I wanted to do it legit. Like, how do we legit check people's buckshot? And really, you either have to pull 8 rounds for chrono, which, what is that, like $60?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a pretty dick move to pull 8 rounds of buckshot.
Yeah, when they only brought like 20.
Yeah.
So we put some very specific people on a buckshot stage, and we said, hey, we specifically want you to look at what shells people are using. And if you don't get a good look, we want you to pull one off their belt and look at it. And if you see anything you don't recognize, put it in a baggie and we're going to cut it. So it wasn't like because like even at pistol matches, it's so easy to cheat on. Like, okay, first stage of the day, they slap down the baggies. Okay, everyone, give us your 8 rounds for chrono. And like Mike Stoker was saying this the other day. I'm taking what he said out of context because he was making a different point. But he's like, it's so dumb. Like, you could, it's so easy to work around.
Yeah.
Like, if you wanted
Here's
to,
my
you
chrono
could.
rounds. Yeah.
Oh yeah, here's the special chrono rounds. Blah blah blah. I believe there are some fairly prominent shooters, even in recent history, that have been caught doing that.
At NRL Hunter, the chrono was at one of the prone positions on a stage. So, like, you went over to the tree, and there was just a chronograph by the tree.
Yeah.
Nobody knew that was the stage until you were shooting it, and all the stages are blind. So I thought that was such an awesome way to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you just lay down, and you're like,
that's the way to do it.
We're getting recorded on this stage. It was like kind of awesome.
Yeah, and so like I'd heard of somebody that shoots for an ammunition manufacturer using factory new brass and factory new bullets and loading his own thing. If you're gonna do it, it's not that hard. Back to our stage. All right, all the buckshot is getting shot on the second day. We put our guys on that stage, and he's looking, and we basically isolate down. He didn't see it right off the bat, but he did find the wads. So we found flight control. Well, actually, it's Versatite or whatever, Hornady, but a long range wad. It's the same one.
Yep.
Federal and Hornady use the same one. Hornady buys it from Federal. It's black instead of clear. So he found the wads. It was isolated down to a squad, and they figured out who it was. And so, by our definition for selecting for World Shoot, competitors agreed to abide by IPSC equipment rules for selection. Whether it was intentional or not, if you load too many rounds in your magazine, you get bumped to open, right? Like, so if ignorance of the law is no excuse. So we caught one. We actually caught about 4 people using it. I know some of those weren't intentional. I know for a fact that some of them legitimately did not know what they had and didn't understand that it was against the rules, but the rule was applied evenly. But yeah, we did actually have a bit of a buckshot sting, and we did find some. That was illegal.
Interesting.
Yes. So that happened as well. So like people wanted to be held to that standard, and like I say, I mean, it's kind of like in my head, if you were gonna, that's a distinct advantage. Like if everybody on the honor system is not using long range wads and you are, and they're not going to check me, how would they catch me? Well, we have a Josh. That's how we caught you.
I feel like you could almost just look at the target and be like, that buckshot's in the size of a fist.
A story in interview was, I didn't know. I just shot the one that patterned best in my shotgun. Oh, no kidding.
In other news, water is wet.
Yeah, like yes,
That's
that
awesome.
one would pattern the best. But yes, so be ye warned for Nebraska. Check your stuff, people. Know what you got, because you never know when they're gonna check.
Yep. Careful what you ask for. All right. Well, the behind the scenes here is that it is officially right now past the time and day when we normally publish on the perf. It actually goes up 10 o'clock on Tuesday night. For everybody, Wednesday morning. It is now 10:20. and Amax has to mail it to me. I have to edit everything into a dealer jigger, export it, post it online, and hit the go button. And I'd also like to sleep tonight. So
you're so needy.
We're gonna call it there. This is us doing it for you guys. So I hope you guys appreciate it. We'll maybe try to get a little ahead here at some point again. We were ahead by like 3 episodes at one point.
I think,
and then that slowly fell off.
We're gonna get a couple down this week, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna get back. Well, Mr. Maxwell, you want to take us out, buddy?
But yeah, guys, that's how things currently stand in the world of IPSC World Shoot Shotgun. And stay tuned for Nebraska, because this one's going to be on the perf. And we'll see y'all next time.
Overlays necessary, and maybe a box cutter.
See you, everybody.